Good morning. My name is Marilyn Winslow, and we're talking about the celebration of women today. Beautiful women who have done beautiful things here at Fort Street for 162 years. I decided it would be good to remind us of the early women of the church. Tim Moran was a great resource for this because he had written 4 lectures on early Fort Street history for Detroit's 300th birthday. These lectures are available on the web by simply Googling Fort Street Presbyterian Church history. As in most early histories, the majority of the material is about the men, leaders of the church. However, here we have 2 women whose dedication, wisdom, and energies were so meaningful that they left a lasting mark on this church and the city. In 1873, Mary McGregor Scotton, a Canadian, came to the U.S. when she married the prosperous tobacconist Orrin Scotton. 14 years later, the Scottons, with their 9 children, began attending Fort Street, and Mary immediately became very involved. In 1906, her husband died while on a fishing trip very suddenly. 1 month after Orrin's death, Mary donated $50,000 to the Fort Street with a stipulation that the congregation raised $26,000 to build the church home, house, and gym. Not only was this a generous gift, but a shrewd one, as she wanted the congregation to take ownership and responsibility for the building. What a beautiful woman, and what a beautiful gift, for this church house has become a home for many people these past 100 or so years. Mary's generosity went on and on until her death in 1948 at age 93. Sarah Grindley was from another prosperous, progressive family at Fort Street. In 1899, an Army officer posted at the old Fort Wayne asked Dr. Reed, the pastor of Fort Street, to do something with his soldiers stationed at the fort. The soldiers had just returned from the Spanish-American War and found the neighborhood around Fort Street, around the Fort Wayne, nothing but saloons and brothels. It was a terrible place. Sarah Grindley was sent to see what she could do. And so Sarah began the school for children, at first numbering 23. By the second year, the average attendance was 335. For schoolrooms, she began renting buildings, often vacated saloons, along Calvary and Dragoon Street. Fort Street, with the help of Presbytery, supplied the teachers and the volunteers for all these schools. This area, known as Del Rey, was also the home of a huge immigrant population, mostly of Hungarian or Armenian descent. She found this group so in need and neglected that she founded a school and then a settlement house for them, where a nursery was provided to care for the babies, allowing the babysitters, who were the older brothers and sisters, to attend school while both parents worked. In 1931, she established a fresh air camp at Jocelyn Lake for these children. Until just a few years ago, the camp was still used by the Presbytery camp for grade school children. Did any of you go to Camp Grindley? In addition, Sarah's Sunday schools grew to at least 4 congregations and several community centers. Sarah Grindley, a beautiful woman doing beautiful things. Later on, in World War II, Fort Street established a USO unit in the church basement. Since the church was right across from 3rd Street and from the Union Railroad station, and it became a place to relax during long layovers. The Donlin Room, where the Vanderbilt kids are staying, was used as a canteen, while the gym became a dormitory for 15,000 soldiers in 1 year. Altogether, 50,200 men found refuge at Fort Street. Do you think the beautiful women had a lot to do with that mission? Pretty awesome, isn't it? And you may be thinking, where are the beautiful women today? We're not millionaires. We are unable to give extravagant gifts to our church. We're not ladies of leisure. We can't give our full time to our church. Our 2011 beautiful women do so much with their talents and energy for the glory of God, and Jane Petrie will tell us about that.